Morning guys, your fluency for today is over on Purple Mash, so as always you can go and do that now or you can do it at the end of the video. To start off with, we'll go through this one here. So the area we've been given is 60 centimetres squared and this length is 12 centimetres, and we needed to find out this length here in millimetres. So something times by something gives us 12. Something times 12 gives us 60, so we do 60 divided by 12, which gives us 5. Now it gives us 5 centimetres, okay? So this side is 5 centimetres, but in millimetres we need to times that by 10, because there's 10 centimetres in a millimetre. So this side should be 50 millimetres. Now this one was slightly different. We had one side which was 100 millimetres and one side that was 6 centimetres, and we needed to find the area in centimetres. So to start off with, we need to turn this into centimetres. As we've just said, it's 10 millimetres in a centimetre. So for this one, to go millimetres to centimetres, we divide by 10. So that gives us 10 centimetres. 10 times by 6, the area of this rectangle is 60 centimetres squared. Yesterday we started looking at the area and perimeter of compound shapes, and we're going to continue with that today with a bit more practice. So your first task is on the board, which is exactly the same as we were doing yesterday. I've got two simple shapes to start off with. I've got a square with one side of 7 centimetres, I want you to find the area in the perimeter, and then a rectangle, one side 4 centimetres, one side 2.5 centimetres. So area and perimeter of both shapes. Let's start off with our square. So the area of the square, we need the length and the width. Because it's a square, all the sides are the same length. So we do 7 times by 7, or 7 squared. So the area of this square is 49 centimetres squared. Now for the perimeter, I like to fill in the missing sides to help us. Square tells us that all the sides are the same. So we can either do repeated addition, 7 and 7 and 7 and 7, or we've got 4 lots of 7, 7 times by 4. So the perimeter of the square is 28 centimetres. Now let's move on to the rectangle. So again, to find the area, we do the length times by the width. So we're doing 4 multiplied by 2.5 centimetres. Now, as usual, I'd partition this. So I'd do 4 times by 2 holes is 8, and then 4 times 0.5, or 4 times 5, and make it 10 times smaller. So the area of this rectangle is 10 centimetres squared. Okay? Perimeter, same as before. I'm going to fill in the missing information. So the opposite sides are equal because it's a rectangle. So this is 4 and this is 2.5 centimetres. Now we add up all of those around the outside edges. I'm going to do 2.5 and 2.5 together. This gives me 5. And then add the 8 there. So the perimeter of this shape is 13 centimetres. Now let's see what happens when we create a compound shape. Time to pause the video again. I've now put our two simple shapes together and made a compound shape. So I want you to think about what can we just add together to find, is it the area or the perimeter, and how do you calculate the other one? Let's start off with the area because that's the easiest. Hopefully you remember that because the area, the insides of these two shapes hasn't changed, we can just add them together. So the area of my square was 49 centimetres squared, and the area of my rectangle was 10 centimetres squared. So we add these together, and my new shape, the area, is 59 centimetres squared. Now the perimeter is where it gets a little bit more difficult. We can't just add them together because this side now is inside of our shape. So let's annotate the rest of the shape. Each of my sides of my square is 7 centimetres. The other side of my rectangle, so this is 4 centimetres. And now we need to work out what this missing length is here. So from here to here is 7, but we've taken away the 2.5, so what's left is 4.5 centimetres. So we've done 7, subtract 2.5. Now we need to add all of these calculations around the outside edge. Again, I'd cross them off as you went so that you don't get too confused. and your added calculation, your perimeter, should be 36 centimetres. So that's the area and perimeter of our new compound shape, using what we'd already done. Now I want you to pause and have a go at this compound shape straight away. So it's made up of a square, one side 8 centimetres, and then this rectangle 11 centimetres by 3 centimetres. So I want the area and the perimeter. Let's start off with the area. So I'm still going to work it out in the same way. I'm going to work out the area of the two shapes and then add them together. So the area of my square, well, I do 8 squared because each side is 8 centimetres. So 8 squared, 8 times 8 is 64 centimetres squared. And then for this one, 11 times by 3 centimetres. So the area of my rectangle is 33 centimetres squared. So now the new area of my compound shape, I have got to do 64 plus 33, and the new area is 97 centimetres squared. Now the perimeter. So the perimeter, we can't work out one and add them together. It's easier for us to just label the information that we know. So this side is 8 centimetres because it's a square. I know that this is 11 centimetres, and so this side is 11 centimetres because the opposite sides of a rectangle are equal. This one's labelled for me. Now I'm just missing this length here. Now I know that from here to here is 8 centimetres, and I need to take away the 3 centimetres from here. So this little length here is 5 centimetres. Now we just need to calculate all of these outside distances together to find our perimeter. So the perimeter of our compound shape is 54 centimetres. Well done if you got that. The last compound shape that I've got for you to have a go at is made up of 2 identical rectangles. They don't look identical, my drawing isn't to scale. So we've got a 13 metre by 6 metre rectangle, and then the same 13 metre by 6 metre rectangle down the side. So I want you to figure out the area and the perimeter of the compound shape. So to start off with, I figured out the area. So we needed to do 13 times by 6, and that gave us 78 metres squared. Now the other rectangle was exactly the same, so that's also 78 metres squared. So the total compound area is 156 metres squared. Now for the perimeter, we can't do one perimeter add the others because there's a line in the middle that is now inside the shape. So we need to label the outside of the shape. To find that missing side, we do 13 take away 6, which gives us 7. We add all of the outside distances together, and that gives us a total of 64 metres. That concludes today's video. Your task today is over on Purple Mash. Again, you've got a challenge coming up. Any issues? Lots of you aren't answering all of the questions, perhaps you're struggling, but it really helps your teachers if you have a go at all the questions, and then we can see where it is that you're going wrong and we can help you. So please try all of the questions, there's only 10, and then let us know how you get on. Send us an email on the email address or post on the class blog. See you tomorrow.